Good Friday evening, Internet friends. This is Chief Meteorologist Mike Everett live in the King 5 newsroom, where we've got a lot to unpack weather-wise this weekend. We've got a system that's going to move in, bringing a little bit of moisture overnight tonight, but the big story is that cold air that moves in Saturday night and lasts for a couple days. We'll talk about the mechanics behind that coming up. Looks like it could also kick up some gusty winds, especially up towards some of our northern counties. Skagit, Whatcom, and the San Juans could be seeing some of those Fraser outflow winds getting up to about 50 miles an hour. So let's get right into it. Here are your headlines. We'll see that system move through, bring in some low-level rain and possibly some low-level snow as well, but we're not expecting it to accumulate. But you might see some flurries flying in some spots tomorrow. We'll take a look at that in a moment. Those gusty winds pick up on Saturday night. They'll last into Sunday morning, and then the cold returns on Sunday through Tuesday. And it looks like latest forecast model runs are bringing the potential for more flurries to fly Tuesday into Wednesday, but again, not expecting any accumulations. If anything changes, we'll let you know. So taking a look at SeaTac at about 8:50 on this Friday evening. Here's what we did today. Temperatures were close to being average. 48 was where we topped out. That's just 1 degree below the 30-year average, about 10 degrees below the record. You notice that sunset right at 5:03 tonight, so the days are getting longer. We crossed that psychological barrier this week. Look from Bellingham, where things are tranquil for now, but we are expecting business to pick up overnight tonight. So it looks like 6 p.m. Saturday to 6 a.m. on Sunday is when we'll see those winds really pick up. About 25 to 35 miles an hour, sustained with gusts up to about 50 miles an hour for everything you see in tan there. That's where that wind advisory is in place there. And again, there could be some spotty power outages that go along with that. So if you're in that region, just make sure you're paying attention to that and you have a plan in place. So here's what the big picture in the GOES 18 satellite is showing, is this ridge of high pressure being enormous. It's got such a huge influence that it's actually pushing anything that's trying to come in off the Pacific well off towards the north and east and diverting it up and around over top of land coming down through British Columbia. So what that does is it makes it so that the ocean no longer has any influence over what's coming in our direction, and basically just put some polar air right into the Pacific Northwest, also reinforced by a strong low pressure system off towards our north and east that'll just basically put us in a wind tunnel there on Saturday night. Temperatures on this Friday evening are in the low to mid 40s in most spots, and as far as the wind goes, completely calm on Friday night, should be fairly mellow throughout the day on Saturday, and then right around 4:30 is when we expect that Fraser outflow to really pick up. If you take a look up towards Bellingham there, that's when it's going to get gusty there, and it'll stay gusty through most of the night. You see some of those arrows coming towards Friday Harbor with some reds and purples in there, indicating that even though it says 33, some of those gusts could get up into about the 50-mile-an-hour range. By about 10:30 on Sunday, we start to see that mellow, and in fact, by the time we get to Sunday night, we're expecting things to be calm all the way across the region. Here's a look from Stevens and Snoqualmie Pass, where the roads are looking good in both spots. We saw snow levels way up high overnight, well, about 3,500 feet. So even though it did snow up there overnight, it doesn't look like it really stuck to the roads. So things are in pretty good shape there and should stay that way through the weekend. Speaking of snow, here's what we're expecting. We'll see that system pass through overnight tonight and then kind of just glom onto some of the southern Cascade Mountains. So if you are planning on heading up to the resorts, Crystal and White Pass look like they're going to be the best bet. And then right around 1:30 on Saturday, we see another pulse of energy that moves through that again could bring some low-level flurries, especially between Seattle and Everett, but it'll be fairly short-lived, not expecting it to accumulate. And then by Sunday, things clear out, but that's also when they cool down. Snow accumulation overnight, not much to write home about, but again, looks like our southern resorts, especially down towards Crystal and White Pass, could do pretty well. And it looks like Stevens and Snoqualmie will get some icing on the cake there too. High temperatures on Saturday will be in the mid to upper 40s, and then we go into the polar plunge. We'll start with some cloud cover early on Saturday, and then your 7-day forecast showing on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday those temperatures topping out in the 30s and dipping down into the 20s overnight. It looks like Monday will be the coldest of the whole thing, and we could possibly be tracking some temperatures that'll be getting into the teens in some spots there as well. So we still have about 50 days of winter left, and you'll most definitely notice that starting on Saturday night. But once we get to about Wednesday, we'll see those temperatures come back up, and we've got some nice sunbreaks headed in there as well. From the King 5 newsroom on this Friday evening, I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Everett. Stay warm, stay safe, and keep looking up.